On November 1st, 2025, the Philippines made a historic move that sent ripples across Asia and beyond. In a bold and unprecedented step, the nation officially redrew the map of the South China Sea, staking its claim with clarity and conviction. This time, the Philippines acted in open defiance of China's sweeping territorial claims, which have long been a source of tension and conflict in the region. The new map is not just a document, it's a statement of sovereignty and national pride. Now displayed in schools, government offices, and embassies worldwide, the map boldly outlines the Philippines' 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone. This boundary is anchored in the landmark 2016 Hague arbitral ruling, which invalidated China's controversial 9-dash line and affirmed the Philippines' maritime rights. By making this legal victory visible to the world, Manila transforms international law from abstract principle into a powerful national rallying point and a diplomatic weapon in the ongoing struggle for regional order. This is far more than a simple cartographic update. It's a direct and public challenge to Beijing's ambitions and a call for global support in upholding the rule of law at sea. The South China Sea is not just a regional issue, it's a vital artery for global trade, carrying trillions of dollars worth of goods each year. China's militarization of these waters threatens freedom of navigation, putting the interests of countless nations at risk. With this new map, the Philippines issues a clear declaration: rules, not might, should govern the world's oceans. It's a call for fairness, stability, and respect for international agreements. Now, the world faces a pivotal choice. Will it support Manila's law-based claim, or will it allow Beijing's power play to go unchallenged? The answer will shape the future of the region and the world. The stakes could not be higher. The credibility of the post-war global order and the very foundation of international law hang in the balance as nations weigh their response. These new lines are more than just boundaries. They represent a stand for a rules-based world where justice and cooperation prevail over force and intimidation. To truly grasp the significance of today's events, we need to look back to 2012, when the Scarborough Shoal standoff erupted and set the stage for a decade of tension in the South China Sea. This was not just a local dispute, it was the spark that ignited a new era of maritime confrontation and international concern. For generations, Filipino fishermen had called these waters home, relying on the rich fishing grounds for their livelihoods. But suddenly, their daily routines were shattered as massive Chinese Coast Guard ships appeared, blocking their access and intimidating them with overwhelming force. The sight of these enormous vessels, dwarfing the small Filipino boats, sent a chilling message. The rules of the sea were changing. After tense negotiations brokered by the United States, both sides were supposed to withdraw. But while the Philippines complied, China stayed behind, seizing control of the shoal. This marked a dramatic turning point in the dispute, as China's presence became permanent and the balance of power shifted. Since then, China's so-called monster ships have patrolled the area relentlessly, enforcing de facto control over the shoal. Filipino fishermen have been shut out, their boats chased away, and international law has been openly flouted. The world watched as China tightened its grip, ignoring protests and warnings from the global community. This was more than just a territorial dispute. It was China's shift from making claims on paper to establishing physical dominance at sea. For Manila, it was a wake-up call, a stark realization that the old status quo was gone, and a new, more dangerous reality had arrived. A military response was out of the question. The Philippines simply could not match China's naval power. But surrender was unthinkable. The nation faced a difficult choice, caught between overwhelming force and the need to defend its sovereignty. Instead, the Philippines turned to law and diplomacy. Over the years, they filed hundreds of diplomatic protests, brought their case to international tribunals, and endured constant harassment at sea. Each protest, each legal filing was a statement of resistance and a refusal to give up. Scarborough Shoal became a powerful symbol of lost ground, relentless pressure, and the struggle of a small nation against a much larger power. It was a daily reminder of what was at stake, not just for the Philippines, but for the entire region. Yet, this decade of bullying and intimidation only strengthened Manila's resolve. The Philippines chose to fight back. not with force, but with the tools of law, new alliances, and now a powerful symbol, a map that asserts its rights for all the world to see. The new map is Manila's answer to years of coercion, a clear, public assertion of its rights, and a bold declaration that it will not be silenced or pushed aside. It is both a message to China and a rallying point for Filipinos determined to defend their seas. The loss of Scarborough Shoal was a turning point for the Philippines, pushing the nation from tense standoffs at sea to a new kind of battlefield, the legal arena. With its fishermen blocked and sovereignty challenged, Manila realized that traditional means were not enough to protect its interests. In 2013, the Philippine government took a bold step, bringing China before an international tribunal under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. Their goal was to seek clarity on their maritime rights and to challenge the sweeping scope of China's so-called Nine-Dash Line, which claimed almost the entire South China Sea. After years of legal arguments and global attention, the 2016 Hague ruling became a landmark moment. The tribunal declared China's expansive claims baseless, affirming the Philippines' rights to its exclusive economic zone and fishing grounds. For many Filipinos, it was a moment of justice and hope. However, Beijing flatly rejected the verdict, calling it null and void. Instead of backing down, China ramped up its propaganda efforts, insisting on its historical rights and refusing to recognize the tribunal's authority. The reality on the water did not change. Despite the legal victory, Chinese ships remained in the disputed areas, continuing their patrols and activities as if nothing had happened. The ruling, while powerful on paper, lacked the means to force compliance. Manila's initial attempts to ease tensions and negotiate were met with continued Chinese incursions. Diplomatic outreach and appeasement failed to stop the steady presence of Chinese vessels in Philippine waters. Now, under new leadership, the Philippine government is reviving the Hague ruling, making it the centerpiece of its diplomatic and legal strategy. Officials are determined to keep the issue alive on the world stage. The release of a new official map is the next step, an effort to turn legal victory into diplomatic reality. By clearly marking its maritime boundaries, Manila hopes to rally international support and assert its rights. The Philippines is determined that the world will not forget this ruling, nor allow it to go unenforced. Through protests, media campaigns, and diplomatic outreach, Manila is keeping the spotlight on its cause. The new map stands as a powerful reminder: the law is on the Philippines' side, even if the balance of power is not. The struggle continues, but Manila's resolve is stronger than ever. Outmatched at sea, the Philippines is building strength through alliances. Its mutual defense treaty with the U.S. is now backed by explicit American commitments to defend Philippine vessels in the South China Sea. Joint military exercises like Balikatan have grown in scale and complexity, signaling resolve. Japan and Australia have joined as key partners, providing patrol vessels, equipment, and joint patrols. This web of cooperation is more than military. It's a coalition for a free and open Indo-Pacific. By embedding its dispute in a broader alliance, Manila reframes the issue as a defense of global rules, not just territory. The diplomatic push amplifies Manila's voice and puts Beijing under pressure to respect international law. The Philippines is no longer standing alone. The Philippines has found a vital partner in Indonesia, which faces its own Chinese incursions near the Natuna Islands. Both nations reject China's historical claims and champion UNCLOS as the only legal framework. Their partnership goes beyond words: joint patrols, intelligence sharing, and coordinated ASEAN messaging. Together, they show that middle powers can push back by uniting. This cooperation is a model for ASEAN, signaling that regional states can shape their own security. Manila and Jakarta's alliance is a nucleus for broader resistance to China's dominance. It's a proactive stand for a rules-based maritime order. Defending sovereignty comes at a price. China is also the Philippines' top trading partner. Manila must assert its rights without triggering economic retaliation that could hurt jobs and growth. Beijing has a track record of using trade as leverage, so Manila walks a tightrope, firm on the sea, pragmatic in the marketplace. To reduce vulnerability, the Philippines is diversifying trade and investment, strengthening ties with the US, Japan, South Korea, and the EU. This economic pivot is as crucial as military alliances, giving Manila more freedom to act. The goal: defend the West Philippine Sea while keeping economic channels open. Whether this balance can hold is a defining test for Philippine strategy. The South China Sea dispute is as much about domestic politics as foreign policy. Nationalist sentiment is surging. Filipinos demand action after years of seeing fishermen harassed and territory lost. The new map is a popular move, but it also limits the government's room for compromise. Leaders must match tough rhetoric with credible action, without risking reckless escalation. Political factions differ. Some want a harder line, others urge caution to protect the economy. Defense spending must be justified to a public facing daily hardships. By linking maritime defense to food security and livelihoods, the government builds lasting support. The challenge: unite the nation behind a sustainable, realistic strategy. The Philippines strategy blends law, diplomacy, and credible defense. Legal victories like the 2016 award are made visible through the new map, rallying support at home and abroad. At the same time, Manila is modernizing its Navy and Coast Guard, not to match China, but to raise the cost of aggression. Alliances with the US, Japan, Australia, and Indonesia provide both security and diplomatic leverage. Joint patrols and exercises send a clear message: Manila is not isolated. This dual approach, assertive but measured, lets the Philippines defend its rights while keeping dialogue open. It's a pragmatic path for a middle power facing a giant neighbor. The synergy of law, alliances, and deterrence is Manila's best hope. It's a model for others in similar straits. The Philippines' new map is more than a national act. It's a stand for the global order. Middle powers like Manila are now frontline defenders of international law and peaceful dispute resolution. By joining forces with Indonesia, Vietnam, and others, they show that collective action can counter coercion. This isn't just about islands, it's about the principles that keep the world stable: freedom of navigation, treaty sanctity, and sovereign rights. The Philippines' fight is a reminder: the rules-based order must be actively defended. The new map is a declaration that law, not force, should shape the future of the South China Sea. The world is watching. Will rules or power prevail? The line on this map is a line of hope for a fairer, more stable world.